Three friends, Boon, and Chai, decided to go hiking in the high mountains of Chiang Rai, Thailand. They wanted to explore the natural beauty and experience the local culture of the region. They packed their bags, rented a car, and drove to the trailhead. The hike was supposed to be easy, but they soon realized that they had underestimated the terrain and the weather. The path was steep and slippery, and the fog was thick and cold. They could barely see a few meters ahead of them. They tried to follow the signs and the map, but they got confused and lost. They wandered around for hours, hoping to find their way back to the car. But instead of finding the trail, they stumbled upon a small village hidden in the forest. The village looked old and abandoned, with wooden houses and bamboo huts. There was no sign of life, except for a few chickens and dogs. The friends were surprised and curious. They wondered who lived in the village, and why it was so isolated. They decided to explore the village, hoping to find someone who could help them. They walked around the village, looking for clues. They saw a temple, a school, a market, and a cemetery. They noticed that the village had a strange atmosphere, as if it was frozen in time. They felt uneasy, as if they were being watched. They entered one of the houses, hoping to find some food or water. But instead of finding anything useful, they found something horrifying. The house was full of human skulls and bones, arranged in a bizarre pattern. There were candles and incense burning, and blood stains on the floor. There was a large altar in the center of the room, with a statue of a demon holding a knife. The friends were shocked and terrified. They realized that they had entered a village of cannibals, who practiced a dark and ancient ritual. They wondered if the villagers were still around, and if they would come back soon. They decided to get out of the house and the village as fast as they could. They ran out of the house, but they were too late. They heard a loud and eerie sound, like a horn or a gong. They looked around, and saw dozens of people emerging from the forest. They were wearing masks and robes, and carrying weapons and torches. They looked like ghosts, or zombies, or demons. The friends were surrounded and trapped. They realized that they had walked into a trap, and that they were the prey. They screamed and cried, but no one heard them. They fought and struggled, but they were overpowered. They were dragged to the altar, where the statue of the demon awaited them. They were tied to the altar, and the ritual began. The villagers chanted and danced, and the statue of the demon glowed and moved. The friends felt a sharp pain, as the knife pierced their flesh. They bled and died, one by one, but one of them, Chai, managed to escape. He was the last one to be sacrificed, and he saw an opportunity. He used his teeth to bite the rope that bound him, and he freed himself. He grabbed the knife from the statue, and he stabbed the nearest villager. He ran for his life, hoping to find a way out of the village, but he was not alone. He was followed by a lot of ghosts. The ghosts of his friends, and the ghosts of the villagers. They were angry and vengeful, and they wanted to drag him back to the altar. They chased him through the forest, and they tried to catch him. He ran and ran, until he saw a light. He saw a small hut, with a sign that said, "Monk." He hoped that it was a safe place, and that the monk could help him. He knocked on the door, and a voice answered. "Who is it?" The voice asked. "Please, help me," Chai said. "I'm being chased by ghosts." The door opened, and a monk appeared. He was old and bald, and he wore a saffron robe. He looked calm and wise, and he smiled. "Come in, my son," the monk said. "You are safe here." Chai entered the hut, and the monk closed the door. The monk lit a candle, and he gave Chai a glass of water. He asked Chai to sit down, and he listened to his story. The monk nodded, and he said, "You have encountered the lost village, the village of the damned. It is a cursed place, where evil dwells. The villagers were once good people, but they were corrupted by a demon. The demon taught them the ritual of cannibalism, and he promised them eternal life. But he lied to them, and he trapped them in a cycle of death and rebirth. They became his slaves, and they had to feed him with human flesh. They lured unsuspecting travelers to the village, and they sacrificed them to the demon. You were one of them, but you escaped. You are lucky, but you are not safe. The demon and his ghosts are still after you, and they will not stop until they get you. Chai was scared and confused. He asked the monk, "How do you know all this? And how can I get rid of them?" The monk said, "I know all this, because I was once one of them. I was a villager, and I was a cannibal. I was a follower of the demon, and I did his bidding. But one day, I saw the truth. I saw the suffering and the horror that I had caused. I felt remorse and regret, and I wanted to change. I renounced the demon, and I escaped the village. I became a monk, and I dedicated my life to Buddhism. I learned the teachings of the Buddha, and I practiced the path of compassion and wisdom. I found peace and happiness, and I freed myself from the cycle of death and rebirth. But I also felt a duty and a responsibility. I wanted to help others, and I wanted to stop the demon. I stayed near the village, and I waited for a chance. I waited for someone like you, someone who could break the curse and end the evil. You are that someone, and you can do it." Chai was amazed and curious. He asked the monk, "How can I do it? How can I break the curse and end the evil?" The monk said, "You can do it, by using the knife. The knife is the key, and the weapon. It is the source of the demon's power, and his weakness. It is the tool of the ritual, and the breaker of the ritual. It is the symbol of death, and the symbol of life. You have to use the knife, and you have to stab the demon. You have to stab him in the heart, and you have to kill him. If you do that, you will break the curse, and you will end the evil. You will free the villagers, and you will free yourself. You will save the world, and you will save yourself." Chai was doubtful and afraid. He asked the monk, "But how can I do that? How can I find the demon, and how can I stab him? He is too powerful, and he has too many ghosts. I can't do it alone, and I don't have the courage." The monk said, "You can do it, and you are not alone. You have me, and you have the Buddha. I will help you, and I will guide you. I will protect you, and I will bless you. I will give you the courage, and I will give you the wisdom. You have to trust me, and you have to trust yourself. You have to follow me, and you have to follow the knife. You have to do it, and you have to do it now. There is no time to waste, and there is no other way. Are you ready?" Chai looked at the monk, and he looked at the knife. He felt a surge of energy, and a spark of hope. He nodded, and he said, "Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it." The monk smiled, and he said, "Good. Let's go." The monk and Chai left the hut, and they headed to the village. The monk chanted a mantra, and he held a rosary. Chai held the knife, and he followed the monk. They walked through the forest, and they faced the ghosts. The ghosts were angry and fierce, and they tried to stop them. They screamed and howled, and they attacked them. But the monk and Chai were brave and strong, and they fought them. The monk used his mantra and his rosary, and he repelled the ghosts. Chai used his knife and his will, and he stabbed the ghosts. They made their way to the village, and they reached the altar. The demon was waiting for them, and he was furious and fearful. He knew that they were coming, and he knew that they were a threat. He roared and snarled, and he confronted them. He was huge and hideous, and he had horns and claws. He looked like the statue, but he was alive and real. The demon said, "Who are you, and what do you want? How dare you enter my domain, and how dare you challenge me? Do you know who I am, and do you know what I can do?" I am the lord of this village, and I am the master of this ritual. I have the power of life and death, and I have the control of fate. You are nothing but a worm, and you are doomed to die. You cannot escape me, and you cannot defeat me. You are mine, and you will be my food. The monk said, "We are here to end your reign of terror, and to free the people from your curse. We know who you are, and we know what you have done. You are a demon, and you are a liar. You have corrupted the villagers, and you have enslaved them. You have no power, and you have no control. You are nothing but a parasite, and you are doomed to perish. You cannot stop us, and you cannot harm us. You are not ours, and you will be our enemy." Chai said nothing, but he felt a surge of courage and determination. He held the knife tightly, and he followed the monk's lead. He ignored the demon's threats, and he focused on his goal. He had to stab the demon, and he had to kill him. He had to break the curse, and he had to end the evil. He had to save the villagers, and he had to save himself. The demon and the monk clashed, and the battle began. The demon used his horns and his claws, and he tried to strike the monk. The monk used his mantra and his rosary, and he tried to block the demon. They were evenly matched, and they fought fiercely. Chai waited for his chance, and he saw an opening. He saw the demon's chest, and he saw his heart. He saw the knife, and he saw his target. He ran towards the demon, and he raised the knife. He aimed at the demon's heart, and he stabbed him. The demon felt a sharp pain, and he screamed. He looked at Chai, and he saw his killer. He saw the knife, and he saw his doom. He realized that he had been defeated, and he feared that he would die. He said, "No, no, no. How could you do this to me? How could you kill me? I am the lord of this village, and I am the master of this ritual. I have the power of life and death, and I have the control of fate. You are nothing but a worm, and you are doomed to die. You cannot escape me, and you cannot defeat me. You are mine, and you will be my food." Chai said, "Yes, yes, yes. I did this to you, and I killed you. You are a demon, and you are a liar. You have corrupted the villagers, and you have enslaved them. You have no power, and you have no control. You are nothing but a parasite, and you are doomed to perish. You cannot stop me, and you cannot harm me. You are not mine, and you are my enemy." The demon gasped, and he died. He fell to the ground, and he turned to dust. The knife glowed, and it vanished. The statue crumbled, and it collapsed. The altar broke, and it exploded. The ritual ended, and the curse broke. The villagers woke up, and they saw the light. They saw the monk, and they saw Chai. They saw the demon, and they saw his death. They realized that they had been freed, and they felt joy and gratitude. They said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have saved us, and you have freed us. You are heroes, and you are friends. You have ended the demon, and you have broken the curse. You have given us life, and you have given us hope. You are our saviors, and you are our guests." The monk said, "You are welcome, welcome, welcome. We have done our duty, and we have fulfilled our destiny. We are monks, and we are Buddhists. We have followed the Buddha, and we have practiced the Dharma. We have shown you compassion, and we have shown you wisdom. We have given you peace, and we have given you happiness. We are your teachers, and we are your brothers." Chai said nothing, but he felt a wave of relief and satisfaction. He had escaped the village, and he had survived the ordeal. He had stabbed the demon, and he had killed him. He had broken the curse, and he had ended the evil. He had saved the villagers, and he had saved himself. The villagers celebrated, and they welcomed the monk and Chai. They offered them food and water, and they gave them gifts. They asked them to stay, and they invited them to join. They said, "Please, please, please. Stay with us, and live with us. You are heroes, and you are friends. You have saved us, and you have freed us. You have given us life, and you have given us hope. You are our saviors, and you are our guests." The monk said, "No, no, no. We cannot stay, and we cannot live. We are monks, and we are Buddhists. We have followed the Buddha, and we have practiced the Dharma. We have shown you compassion, and we have shown you wisdom. We have given you peace, and we have given you happiness. We are your teachers, and we are your brothers. But we have to go, and we have to leave. We have a mission, and we have a purpose. We have to spread the Buddha's teachings, and we have to help others. We have to find the car, and we have to return to Chiang Rai." Chai said, "Yes, yes, yes. We have to go, and we have to leave. We are hikers, and we are travelers. We have explored the mountains, and we have experienced the culture. We have seen the beauty, and we have seen the horror. We have learned a lot, and we have grown a lot. We are grateful, and we are happy. But we have to go, and we have to leave. We have a home, and we have a family. We have to find the car, and we have to return to Chiang Rai." The villagers understood, and they respected the monk and Chai. They thanked them again, and they bid them farewell. They wished them luck, and they blessed them. They said, "Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Go in peace, and live in joy. You are heroes, and you are friends. You have saved us, and you have freed us. You have given us life, and you have given us hope. You are our saviors, and you are our guests. But you have to go, and you have to leave. We hope to see you again, and we hope to keep in touch. We will never forget you, and we will always remember you." The monk and Chai said goodbye, and they left the village. They walked through the forest, and they found the trail. They followed the signs, and they found the car. They drove back to Chiang Rai, and they returned to their lives. They had escaped the village, and they had survived the ordeal. They had stabbed the demon, and they had killed him. They had broken the curse, and they had ended the evil. They had saved the villagers, and they had saved themselves.